Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another riveting episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I'm Cloud Hudson, bringing you the news from all the wavelengths, from as far as we can see to as low as we can go. I have already pulled up my tabs for you today. You're welcome. So you won't see me searching around there. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Those of you trickling in, I'm sure that you're trickling in. Trickling in. Okay, there's no viewers yet, but I still don't. I'm gonna trust that you're trickling in. So we'll go ahead and get started. Today is Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. All you time travelers out there, this is the version of that day that you landed on. We are in a Mars day during a Jupiter hour. Let me refresh this, make sure we're still there. Yeah. Oh, we are in a Mars day and a Mars hour. This is the second day in a row that I've been broadcasting on the hour that the day is on. So maybe this will be the theme this week. So speaking of Mars today, let's start with that. He would like to go first. Mars at 19 degrees of Capricorn. Again, a very well-treated Mars right here. Being trine to Uranus and Taurus at 19 degrees. They're pretty much just made their exact trine. Looking pretty good as far as doing the work, getting shit done, really aligning your actions with your values and your theory, putting theory into practice, or trying to move that way. I get that vibe from being right between Mercury and Venus too, that this is a Mars in Capricorn that knows how to not quite step on toes, but is definitely gonna this is gonna be a shaking things up energy as well with that aspect to Uranus. We're gonna try to do something. One thing I always think about with Uranus and Venus is they're both trying to do something different, but Venus completely did something different and Uranus just did something opposite, which you don't typically see. I think in a lot of astrology, I've seen Venus as thought of as the complement to duality, to male and female duality, and Uranus being the wild card of change. But I really think that in the mythological roots of Venus, she actually does stuff a completely different way, and Uranus tries the antithesis of the idea that Venus completely reinvented, which is why I love having Uranus in Taurus, because Venus rolled sign, very fun. Let's see, our moon is about to cross the ecliptic plane down into the southern hemisphere territory, and is currently squaring Venus. So I should mention she's squaring Venus, and that is in a rough, with a 2 degrees orb, T-square with, no, it's not in a 2 degree orb. It's in a 2 degree orb of trining Jupiter, but they've got a really large 10 degree orb for this being square. I think this is more of a square than this. But when we'll be at 19 degrees when the moon crosses the node. So that'll be interesting because that will be the moon squaring Mars as it crosses the nodes, as it crosses the ecliptic plane. The body and the action are going to have, I think that we're going to have to go back and re-examine something, South Node style. Yeah. Not much else to say about, we're in the second decan of Aquarius season, which is historically not my strong suit. Not my strong suit this particular time of the year, but like if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Some of my favorite Aquariuses are born in this decan, so more power to you. So let's move on from our solar weather. Hello, viewer. Hello, viewers. I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Let's take a look at our solar weather. Zooming down from the planets into the solar sphere, from the solar system to the soul itself. You see we've got a big decrease in X-ray flux activity. We are like sitting well into the B class range. Let's look at our X-ray data for today. Looks like we made it up to C5, but that's not even that much compared to getting those M classes yesterday. Yeah, so yesterday's peak, M6.7, right when we started the day, and then kind of tapering off as we went throughout. And yeah, we saw one nice spike here at the C5.7, and we've been in B class territory all day today. So I think that we are in a bit of an ebb of that type of radiation. But what we're not in an ebb of is, well, actually another thing we're in the ebb of is proton flux. You know how we haven't had much proton energy. Yesterday's activity brought us a big wave of less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 10 mega electron volts. And that's kind of going back down today, but we are still awash in the protons. So let's go ahead and we didn't have any chances of complete halos today. We did have, let's see, one of our largest degree coronal mass ejections today was this one, just a little side fart, just a little crop dusting. But we're still seeing a lot of radiation particles there. Now, the more I'm learning about space weather, the more I learn that I don't know anything, but I'm getting there. So just want to plug, if anybody wants to buy me $8,000 worth of tuition to get my graduate certificate in space weather communication, that'd be awesome. I'd love to take this class for free online, but I guess universities can't pay people for free. So looking all right, not looking like a great aurora activity, but we do have increased hemispheric power, and we even went back into the north orientation of the BZ. Still not looking bad, but probably only in these really Arctic circle polar regions are we going to potentially see aurora. So haven't seen any big ones yet, guys. I will share them once I get them. So let's move down from the solar weather into the terrestrial atmospheric weather. What is going on with our terrestrial atmospheric weather? So this is a 24-hour map of our accumulated precipitation. So this is where we've gotten precipitation in the last 24 hours exactly. I'm going to do 72 hours the last 3 days, just to give a sense of where we've gotten a lot. We're finally getting out of the territory of Texas and California being totally inundated with more water on top of more water, but it's still like not out of the woods. There's still active flash flood alerts and flood warnings over in California, and winter weather warnings as well. We did get a little bit of a frost and lots of rain down here in the southern Appalachians. Now let me go to, before we click over to look at the live satellite, I want to see our observed temperatures today. Let's look at our real analysis. What actually happened? Breaking news. The weather really did happen. This is the weather that actually happened. Okay. Yeah. See that little ridge baking in there? That's where we've got a little like mini high circulation. I don't know why I'm going that way, because it would be that way. We got this little high coming in here between our, this is a cold front that is swirled in to the eastern seaboard. See this go up and then right back down. This cold front is moving in and displacing some of this warm air that did find its way into the southern and eastern regions of the United States. Now, as you can see here in the upper elevations of California, they still got freezing temperatures. So I wanted to pull up watches and mornings because it's wild to see this on the maps, and then wild to me anyway, to still see so much flood warning and flash flood warning going on, and even fog warnings still very much alive and well throughout this area that's received, like, I want to say a foot of rain in this past month. There's still there's, like I said, water's an incompressible fluid. Like, you can't, like, unlike soil where if you pack it down, it can kind of mash into a brick. You can't mash down the water. You just got to let it percolate all the way through. And the more mashed down your soil is, the harder it is for water to permeate the pore spaces in that soil, and the harder it is for the land to drink up or soak in the water. It's like, oh, this is a great one. Right now, what the water is landing on when it rains in California and in the deep south is like spraying water on a wet towel. Like, yeah, it's on the towel, but the towel is always also, like, it's already completely saturated. You're not going to dry anything off with a wet towel. And right now the ground here is a wet towel. And it's, even though it is not actively raining from the sky, it's basically like it's still raining from the surface down. Like, if you lived below the surface of the earth and your only knowledge of whether it was raining was like if the surface was wet, you would have thought it was raining the entire time. So that's why we got flood warnings going on. Still got a lot of winter weather advisories and watches out here in the upper elevations of California and Nevada. And again, those high wind warnings, because we've got, oh guys, we're going to take a look at it on GOES, but satellite imagery, but we have got a juicy, gorgeous cyclone developing off the west coast here. But I am going to go into, before we look at that, let's look at our current frontal analysis. Thank you so much to the Weather Prediction Center and WPC analyst Ziegenfelder again. Fun name. Loved your analysis. Doing a great job. So we got the cold front here. And then this is that little mini high circulation I was talking about. Got the occluded front back here, warm front out here. And this is where we're swirling in, swirling in this air into here. And then we're getting a nice in-mixing backflow. We're getting some backwash. we're getting some cold air backwash into the storm. Did you guys ever have that nasty concept in grade school? Like, no, you can't drink from my water. You backwash into it. You spit in the water when you drink from it. no backwashing. So that's what the cold air does, is it kind of backwashes into, gets displaced by the warm air, and then it comes around and backwashes into the backside of the storm, which in turn creates that occlusion where, you know, you thought you're getting pushed out of the way by the warm air, but really it's the cold air that's pushing the warm air out of the way in one big twisty, swirly motion. So let's go take a look at, please work. Oh, yes. Okay. I had already done my doodle on this because I didn't want to fuck it up live. I mean, mess it up live. This is kind of transferring from what we saw with the SPC hand analysis to my Zoom Earth view of this being the cold front, this being that cold that rushes in behind it, and this being the warm that's coming out in front and swirling around. And that's a pretty good, that's a pretty picture. It's a pretty well-defined storm there. But look at this. Look at this guy out here. This is a gorgeous storm. I mean, almost 50 mile per hour winds. 53 mile per hour winds on the eye wall of this not a tropical storm. Really, really crazy. Really pretty. As soon as it makes landfall, it's gonna do the MLC thing, I think, but for now, it just gets to be a big, juicy Pacific storm that I am hoping and praying we get fun snow out of and not freezing rain. Hopefully, it'll move fast through here too and not stick around through Texas too long. Let's see. What do I want to do now? I want to look at wind. Oh, look at that. 57 mile per hour. 57, 60 mile per hour winds, guys. 60 mile per hour winds, folks. And you can see that gorgeous spiral all the way in. That's what you want to see. I mean, you don't even see it on the one that's actively causing some rain and snow in the East Coast right now. Let's see our gusts. Okay. Yeah. Wind gusts up to 75 miles an hour. It looks like we're getting up to wind gusts of near 80 miles per hour. So that's extreme. And where else are we getting that? Right here in the I forget the name of the sea between the British Isles and Iceland, but look at this. 82 miles an hour wind gusts up here into the Arctic. This is like the polar. This is what should be jetting around, I think, up in the Arctic, but it just doesn't have the definition not to be down here. And then, of course, you can kind of see a front-like signature right here. It's trying to swirl into a low, but still about to. I bet that this is going to cause some problems for the Nordic countries and maybe, depending on which way it goes right here, probably not going to go to Iceland, but will probably cause some issues for Ireland, Scotland areas. Take a look now at precipitation. We've had some decent precipitation in the southern Appalachian regions, some mix of snow and liquid water rain. And, I mean, right here, we're getting some heavy rainfall off the coast. Let's take a look at, do I have pressure? Can I do a pressure map on this? Oh, I just love your color grading, Zoom Earth. That's good. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, this is where I said that we're looking at like a kind of a mini high, this little ridge situation. And this trough, look at this bowling ball. It already wants to become a cutoff low. I mean, it's not quite cut off, because I bet at the upper levels it's not completely isolated yet. Because if it were, it would just be barreling through. But you can also see yesterday, this is where we had a right angle, and we are now at acute angle. We are at an acute angle, but the angle is cute. And that means that we are in a one frame forward in the frontogenesis, cyclogenesis phase, right here. Now, I don't know, how do I make that riveting? Cyclogenesis. Does that do it for you? Does that make it more exciting? Fun to get a cold front with a high. Very, very fun. Nice, mild, not even brutally cold front. This is what's causing the really extreme wind over here. This, rising and sinking motion right next to each other. Just a super steep gradient all along. This is honestly, frankly, this is right along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see how this is basically going along with that? Where's my we're about to go to earthquakes anyway. So this is the mid-Atlantic ridge, and this is where we've got, I mean, yeah, I might be stretching it, but it does look like it's really like got an axis right there. Let's go ahead and switch over to earthquakes while I'm over here. Oh wait, no, I didn't ever look at derived winds, so we could look at this beautiful, beautiful storm. So this is the gorgeous cold front that we're getting moving in. Just a nice cold front with a small occluded front up top and a little warm front that wants to be out front. And then this is our micro high. I don't know if that's the right prefix for the scale, but the little mini high. And that's sinking in right here, but keeping this ridge raised up enough to give some juicy dynamic gradient to the oncoming low. Now I want to look at goes west with this. Let's look at goes west. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is a beautiful, beautiful depiction of what happens at, guys. And remember, yellow is low levels, cyan is mid levels, and red is upper levels. You can see that swirly, twirly gumdrop forest. That is just so gorgeous. And so right in the front limb, we've got some slight divergence aloft that's able to like suck. If you're thinking about up high is like losing mass, you can be liberated to flow upwards. Take that in lesson in any context that you want to. When the higher ups get out of the way, the lower levels are able to percolate upwards. And that's exactly what's happening here, as you see the divergence aloft being fed in by the lower level moisture and the lower level cold air. Actually, this is kind of doing something interesting right here too. But and as we rise, we get higher and higher wind gusts. That's really, really cool to see. I mean, California already getting hit by this storm, and the center of rotation is still miles and miles off the coast. That's a good Oregon length away from the coast. That's really, really exciting to see such a gorgeous storm. Now, I do hope that everybody's ready for this, because it's probably gonna be a doozy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our interactive earthquake browser. So we are still seeing active aftershocks in Kyrgyzstan at the 10-kilometer depth region. Again, what is happening 10 kilometers below this Earth's surface? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Why do we keep getting that level 4 to 5 quakes all over the place? Alaska really heating up, I think. What do we have here? That's 4 at 9.7 kilometers down, surrounded by countless others. This was centered at Chickaloon, Alaska. Some of these are from yesterday, and there's not that many new ones. Okay, so wait. Baitung, India, and Indonesia, I'm sorry. Finschhafen, Papua New Guinea, and another one in Baitung, Indonesia. Magnitude 5s at 40 kilometers deep, 10 kilometers deep, and where's the next one down? What's this one? Yeah, 62 kilometers deep and 40 kilometers. So really, Indonesia keeping the momentum alive. We're still seeing, this was from yesterday. These 3 were all from yesterday. Alaska still increasing. I feel like there is something brewing here in this Western North Carolina, Western North America coast. Something's not awry, something's amiss. Is that what it is when something's up, when something's happening, when there's like something brewing? Somebody has put the kettle on, and I don't know if they're making tea or soup or whatever, but somebody put the kettle on for sure. I want to just look at that region and watch the quakes animate. Okay. This is just in the last 24 hours. So let's watch them populate. Just a steady stream of energy transferring itself through the geology over here. And yeah, these are the ones that went today up in the north. And really, it's almost like you can kind of see that there and kind of going up there, almost all the way down here to Yellowstone. And then this, like a wave again. I'm going to talk about waves till I'm blue in the face. Remember what a crashing wave looks like, and you'll see the waves everywhere. Look at this. And I'm not doing perihelion by just seeing waves everywhere. Everything literally is waves. So we're seeing this funneling, I think. This looks like a funnel, and this looks like a funnel, and this looks like a funnel. And it's all moving greatly in this funnel to transfer that energy that way. That makes so much sense. Clear as mud, right? We haven't seen any more in the interior U.S. They took off the one in West Virginia. Interesting. And yeah. Oh, wait. The new thing we had was in the South Sandwich Islands. We had new earthquakes in the South Sandwich Islands today. We had a 5.1 at 100 kilometers depth and 4.9 at 85 and 10 kilometers. Well, that 10 is way far away. That's the one out in the other part of the Southern Ocean, west of Macquarie Island. I tried to say that yesterday. I still don't know how it's said. But I'm pretty sure this one's pronounced Sandwich. The Sandwich Island. The South Sandwich Islands. Sandwich. South Sandwich Islands. Right at the intersection of their convergent, transform, and divergent plate boundaries. Right in the little tri-tap of that. And then So that was today. They had how much? 5.1 and a 4.9. And then here we had a 4.1. No, that's a 4.9. And then we still have more. This was, are any of these from today? Yes, actually, these two most recent ones. Let's see, are these in Bolivia or Peru? They're in Peru. Cibao, Peru. So we had a 4.6 and a 4.2 magnitude earthquake both at about 140 kilometers below the surface, both about 2 hours apart. So the first one was the 2 kilometers deeper, and the second one was 2 kilometers up, went just a little weaker, but a little later. So we're still seeing some, I would call that still aftershock activity, but I'm not a geologist. I'm a meteorologist. What do I know? That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at our volcanic activity today. That one I did not already load. Map of currently active volcanoes is going to look pretty much the same. Let's look at our... Which volcano? Excuse me. I hate yawning in front of people on camera. I don't want to make y'all sleepy while but I had a long day. I did do a morning work and then an activity and now my show. So I'm still trying to figure out how I optimize my schedule the best to prioritize being here with y'all. Hello to my second viewer. Drop something in the chat. I'm only streaming on Twitter and YouTube tonight because and I can see all comments from both of those. So or I should be able to. They just came out with a patch so that I can see Twitter chat on here, but I don't see it showing up as something that is showing up, so I don't know. But here we go. Rundown of what we're still seeing. Some mostly the same. We're seeing mostly the same volcanic activity today as we did yesterday. Let's see if we had any news. Loatobi volcanic ash report. Let's see. Again, Reventador and Sabancaya and Suwanosejima are big ones. Suwanosejima is having a lot of volcanic ash activity. Exploded. It did explode today. Okay. So I would love to see a webcam of that, but for some reason the webcams on this don't work on my computer. Reventador, new volcanic emissions up to 1,500 feet. Sporadic emissions from Sabancaya in Peru, and that is where we also have some earthquake activity. Now let's go ahead and take a look at see if there's any updates from the Reykjanes Peninsula. I know that we're all looking at Iceland. We got yellow alert for weather. Reykjavik, capital region, South Iceland, Faxaflói. It's always, I don't mean to make fun of the way that their sing-songy language goes, but it's so fun to say Icelandic words and feel like the whole word is a song. Still looking at very consistent low hum of tremors and rumbles. They're all hovering around just under magnitude 1. Let's see the whole ridge. Nothing out in the sea yet. Let's look at all regions together. All right, we had a recent eruption here in the northern field. I don't remember which one this one is called. It's not Vatnajökull. Is that the Tjörnes fracture zone? No, that's the Western Fjords. No, that's the Vestmannaeyjar. No, it's the Hofsjökull. No, it's the... I'm sorry, I'm just going to click on all of them until I find which area that is. Midbatten. Hingel. Where did we have the most recent? Okay, I guess I'm not seeing it. I guess I'm not seeing where that most recent earthquake is. Let's see. Oh, that's the one. Okay. This is up near the Blafjol Mountains, which means the Blue Mountains, and that's a ski resort. And that's the one that there have been earthquakes actively while people are out skiing and snowboarding and shit. I mean, and stuff. Some aftershock activity continued. And we're still looking at uplift data from Reykjavik. I don't know if they've got any new updates. No new updates on the earthquake situation. But they are seeing westerly strong gale with snow showers, heavy snow showers. I bet that the Icelandic, I'm not gonna Google it in front of you guys. I'll be professional about it. I'm not gonna Google it in front of you. Let me look for. Is this the camera I want? There's one camera live from Iceland that is at the Northern Lights Hotel that has a really good view of Grindavik and oh yeah, let's look over Thorbjorn over Svartsengi. That's what I want. Yeah, let's look at their blizzard. Live from Iceland. It's ice. Ta-da! There's ice in Iceland, guys. It's snowing in Iceland. Oh, wow. Big news. Let's make a whole YouTube series about it. This is groundbreaking stuff, Cloud. Okay. But really, they've got this is your live view of they've got really blizzardy conditions out there right now. As you can see, there's the city lights in the background. People are back in Grindavik now. Not seeing a whole lot of activity here. What was I looking for? Northern Lights, or wanted to see the live snow? Yeah, very strong westerly gale. I bet that is the where did I have? Go back to east. Oh, I think it was on Zoom Earth that I had the North Atlantic. Okay, well, you can kind of see it on the derived winds here. This is that storm they're dealing with. Let me go back to Zoom Earth. Show you what's going on in Iceland here. Remember, y'all, I think the next earthquake is going to be in February. Not a forecaster, just a betting man. I'm not a man, but I'm a betting. If I were one, I'd be a betting man. I bet I'd be a betting man. I'm not a betting man, but if a Betty bet, I don't know. I'm trying to make up a tongue twister on the fly. It's not working. Let's take a look at the wind and precipitation up there. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to need you to go slower. Okay. I'm going to need you to go even slower than that, really. Just go as slow as you can. That'd be great for me. Yeah, that would really help. Let me close out some of these tabs, see if that's... I think that's what it is. Okay, yeah. Look at this. Okay, this is another... You see these, like, hook shapes? These little shrimpy shapes? the little shrimpy shapes, if it looks like a little shrimpy, actually, I got to do this hand to match my screen. Yeah. If it looks like a little shrimpy shape like this, that is a storm signature. So you see this little shrimpy shape, that's bringing some great snowfall to Iceland and also kind of funneling all this cold air. You saw how some of the cold air was backwashing into the cold front we have in North America right now. Well, the rest of that cold air is siphoning off into the North Atlantic to wrap around Iceland. Honestly, it's wrapping all the way around Iceland, because if it didn't go up here and get sucked in, it went all the way around to come around the backside. You can either take the short road to Grindavik or the long road to Grindavik, but you're getting there. It's all swirling around this country right now. It's really interesting time to be Icelandic. I'd love to hear what Björk has to say about it. Let's put that live cam back on, see if that helped. If that looks any better. No. Maybe if I just keep the webcam on, I'll see the eruption before anyone else does. Nothing really moving a whole lot. You can kind of see that it's a live webcam because some of it, like the noise makes different patterns sometimes, but that's not, I'm not gonna leave this up here. I'm gonna hide this on stream while I go to our last segment of the evening, which is a card pull for messages from the universe beyond the planetary sphere, beyond the solar system, beyond anything that we can sense with our current satellites and probes, beyond what we see in the material world. Let's go to what the cosmic weather has in store for us. Beyond astrology. Guys, remember, there's so much more that we could wonder about than even what we currently wonder. Hello, sleepy cards. Wake up. Time to do your duties. Put on my little desk. I need a new lap desk. I need to fix this one or something. It's all broken from how many times I've stepped on it by accident. That's why I shouldn't have gotten a black lap desk, because I can't see it. Okay. That was quite a chunky shuffle. So, Sally, what are you bringing to our potluck next week? Well, I'm bringing my chunky shuffle. You know, everybody loves my chunky shuffle. It's like some thick chili souffle dip. I don't know. What recipe do you think a chunky shuffle would be at the potluck? Leave a comment. Tell me what a chunky shuffle is. Listen, I just say words. Sometimes words just come out of my mouth that are funny, and I'm like, don't know what I meant by that. Okay. Sure. Okay. Right. I got 2. I got 3. And they're all 3 new ones. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, okay. First, we've got I practice the science of deliberate creation. Giving thought to anything is creation. Giving deliberate thought to anything is deliberate creation. I'm going to say that again. I practice the science of deliberate creation. Giving thought to anything is creation. Giving deliberate thought to anything is deliberate creation. That next one that we've got, and I like almost butterfly effect and biomimicry vibes with the illustration on this of the eyes and biomimicry. All right. Next, we've got another gorgeous one with a butterfly. The second one, this is 2 with a butterfly on it. It's really pretty, but this is more like this more looks like a moth, like a lunar moth or something. It says, when I appreciate, I feel so very good. When I appreciate, I feel so very good. Appreciation is the secret to life. Become a person who appreciates, and you will thrive. You will fulfill your reason for being. All right. And then, last but certainly not least, summary for this, I would say, is this is a glorious time for me to be on this earth. It is. And a beautiful, I'm calling this a dawn, not a sunset. I'm very deliberate about calling this a dawn and not a sunset. You are extensions of source energy here in these magnificent physical bodies. The amazing diversity of your time-space reality provides the perfect balance from which to create and attract. There has never been a better time to be upon your planet. That's cool. This one is the only card so far that sounds like it was written by an alien. Like, you are extensions of source energy here in these magnificent physical bodies. The amazing diversity of your time-space reality provides the perfect balance from which to create and attract. There has never been a better time to be upon your planet. So, beautiful, beautiful energy. I love how appreciative these cards are. They were all 3 new. We are deliberate in our appreciation for being alive at this particular time, this particular juncture in space-time. I feel like I do want to get at least one tarot card. I didn't understand yesterday's very well, so I hope I do today some justice. I would say I'm going to pull one for the dominant theme of how these work together. I practice the science of deliberate creation. When I appreciate, I feel so very good. And this is a glorious time for me to be on this earth. Let's get a summary card for all 3 of those as the overarching message of what cosmic energy is trying to tell us with these 3 cards. Appreciation, deliberation, or being deliberate, a little different than the word deliberation. And appreciation for this exact time on Earth. All right. Have to not let my other thoughts creep in. We're getting it for these cards. Okay. So I practice the science of deliberate creation. We got the Fool reversed. I'm the Fool on purpose. I am very deliberate about being a silly little guy. The art and science of being a silly little guy. I'm very deliberate about creation. I take play and creation extremely seriously. seriously, you need to have a play practice. And I don't mean a rehearsal. You need a practice of play in your life, just like you would practice any other discipline. When I appreciate, I feel so very good. We got 10 of Swords, upright. I think this is a reminder of what you're moving away from when you choose to appreciate things. And let's also appreciate endings. This is a really intellectually final card. Finality of thought, logic, reason, exchange, social network stuff. 10 is a completion, but also a beginning and an end, alpha, omega. And also the 10 of Swords is just like, oh my God, just drop it already. He's already dead. That kind of energy. Appreciation is the secret to life. Become a person who appreciates and you will thrive. You will fulfill your reason for being. So just go ahead and appreciate, including the endings, or you're going to end up like this guy. Sometimes appreciation is what we need to do at the end of things too. Things don't really come to an end unless we take the intellectual time to appreciate the full chapter that we just read. That's what I'm getting when I'm setting these down. Appreciation is a really important part of putting a phase of your journey to rest and like integrating it. Sitting back and being grateful for a thing that ended is really beautiful. And then for this is a glorious time for me to be on Earth. We drew the 6 of Wands reversed. So 6 of Wands upright is this guy kind of coming in from victory, battle maybe, or parade. It's a parade energy. And this is reversed. So I'm reading this as internal. For some reason, I'm thinking of Palm Sunday right now, like in the Jesus myth narrative, Gospels, however you like to define that story for yourself. I don't want to call it a myth because it's very real for many people, but I also stand by the word myth because some people hold myth as more real than science. So it's a reverentially used version of that word. In the Jesus story, there's a week before he's crucified, everyone in town loves him, throwing palms on the road for his donkey he rode in on to walk across, and so forth. This is giving me like be your own Palm Sunday energy of this is a glorious time to be on Earth if you let it be. If you do the appreciation and the conscious, deliberate creation, this could be a beautiful time of splendor to sit back and be like, look at the fight that we've made it through to get here. By no means the end of the suit. There is still 4 more. There's got to be at least 4 more cards. but that's what 6 is. It's like, oh, we could just stay here. 6 is the energy of like, this could be it, right? I mean, like, I won, but there's 45 minutes left in the movie. You know what I mean? This is a glorious time for me to be on this earth. Yeah. Let's give ourselves our own flowers while we can. And also, don't think that it's over before it begins. Yeah. I see, like, people are very doomy, gloomy right now about the future. And I feel hope and excitement and optimism because I am very lucky to have the material reality where I can focus on those energies and, I mean, not constantly be physically smacked in the face with oppression, but like I've lived in that vein before, but like now I am in a frequency where I'm not being forced to encounter so much misery every day. So I have to choose to interact and create reality together. Basically, what I'm saying is don't get discouraged because things are ending. Lots of stuff is ending. Be excited about what that means for what we're going to do with those resources. Don't be sad that you had to throw the trash into the compost because it was already trash. We need to compost it. Be excited about what we're going to grow with that compost. Don't be like, oh, I just have this big smelly pile out back. Be really excited about, like, what are we doing with our spoils of war? Did we just go get this wreath and whatever plunder? Did we just go fight for fun, or were we actually going to use the things we went over there to get? I mean, I also don't like the fighting metaphor a whole lot, but what was all that about? What was all the fighting at the if you know the Five of Wands, you know that it's like a bunch of dudes fighting, and this is after that. What was all that about? What are we going to use it for? What is all this destruction that's currently happening about? What are we going to use it for? How are we going to recycle the energies that are getting ended now? Cool. So, got these were the energies. These were the cosmic cards today. Today's cosmic cards. And yeah. I think that is a good place to end it. So, closing in on an hour here. Thank y'all so much for coming back. I love you, every single one of you, very, very much. Please leave me a comment if you feel like it. I would love to see what snarky takes you have on these cards, on the weather. Really, tell me what your favorite wave is or something. Like, I want to hear from y'all. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Please take care of yourselves and your bodies right now. I feel like there is a lot of illness and throat and nose stuff, and we also need to be able to speak our mind, and so everybody's throat chakra is getting really put to the test right now. So let's be sure to remember what we learned through the past 4 years. How do we take care of our bodies? How do we show up for our energy field? How do we assess where our energetic vulnerabilities are? And because we know that where our energetic armor has vulnerabilities, that's where illness creeps in. Now, I'm not being anti-science with that. I am saying where your bioelectrical field has waves, has little divots. It's like a cavity. It's like your vibes have a cavity when you've got trapped magnetic and electrical energy in your physical biosphere. It's like the hole isn't what's causing you to hurt, but it's harboring a breeding ground for the bacteria. Like, oh, that one shoulder always hurts, but I don't know why. Or like the back of my neck is weird. Pay attention to that and look up the spiritual and metaphysical significance of those areas being activated. And yeah, remember that it's like a cavity for your aura, and you will probably get sick in the part of your body that represents what spiritually is not being held strongly. And a lot of us didn't have our voice heard for a long time, and so we all have a respiratory issue. Okay, I'm gonna go now before I get way too off track. But make sure you brush your teeth and brush your aura's teeth. Don't forget to floss your aura. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Probably pretty late because I'm hosting a comedy show tomorrow. Hey.